Alright guys, it's Matt from Geeks, and we're going to film a battle report today. But it's not just going to be any battle report. We've got Aidan back again today, and I am testing out an army that I'll be using for my local stores tournament. So as you can see, I've decided to cheese it out a bit, and I've gone for Craftworld mixed with Ynnari. It's very powerful combination at the minute. I think it's winning majority of the tournaments. I think the last tournament, Aidan's just flipping me off now. I think the last tournament was the Adepticon, and Tyranids did really well in that one. So whether someone brings Tyranids, I don't know. We'll see how they go. But today I'm going to bring Craftworld and Ynnari mix. So I'll quickly go through the army list, and then we'll quickly run through what the general idea is of the force when I come around to playing. So we've got a battalion detachment to start off with. We've got an Autarch here. He's paired up with a Farseer. The Autarch is armed with a 4-shield Manda Blasters. He's got a Reaper launcher, and he's got the Shimmer Plume relic. It looks like the model's got wings, but I didn't have points to give him wings, so and I'm not taking the wings off because I really like the model. It's obviously the index version because he's got a Reaper launcher, and here's my Warlord, and his Warlord trait is Mark of the Incomparable Hunter. So it basically means he can target characters even if they aren't the closest model, and obviously with a Reaper launcher it means you'll be able to do half decent damage. Next to him is a Farseer. It's just a bog standard Farseer. He's got nothing special, just a flat 100 points for the Farseer. The troops, we've got 2 units of 5 Dire Avengers. There is an Exarch in each unit, and the Exarchs are both armed with dual Avenger launcher, I think, Avenger cannon. So they've basically got 2 guns each that they can fire at full whack, which is always nice. Then I've got a Guardian blob. I've got 20 Guardians with a heavy weapon platform, and the heavy weapon platform is a Shuriken cannon. Now they might not show up too well on here at the minute because of how far away the camera is, but they are only at the inking stage, because like I say, I'm testing this list out. I will be using semi-painted to undercoated models. Literally it's all done apart from 3 of the Dark Reapers and the Guardians, but Aidan graciously said that he'd come round and he'd be the punching bag for today, so we're going to try and get a couple of games in today. So that's it for the Guardians, that's it for the troops. And then moving at the back, we've got 3 dedicated transports. So we've got 3 Wave Serpents, and they've got twin Shuriken cannons with an underslung Shuriken cannon on the bottom of it as well. So that is the first battalion detachment. Obviously that's Craftworld, and their Craftworld is a Latok Fieldcraft. It's obviously -1 to hit if the enemy is over 12 inches. So the second battalion is the Ynnari detachment, which is obviously over on the right hand side. So we've got a Warlock, just a bog standard Warlock. He's got nothing fancy, or should I say she's got nothing fancy. And then we've obviously got the cat lady, Yvrane, not particularly very good at pronouncing it. She obviously just comes with what she's got. For troops, for that battalion detachment, we've got 3 units of 5 Carbolight Warriors, very cheap and cheerful. We are playing with the Index Dark Eldar army at the minute. The Codex Dark Eldar is on its way very soon, but at the minute we're running it as just Index Drakari at the minute. So we've got 3 units of 5 Carbolight Warriors. They've got no upgrades. They have a free Cyberite in the unit, and that is it. Then behind them we have 7 Shining Spears with an Exarch. The Exarch obviously has the upgrade for a Star Lance, I think, or Sun Lance, I think it's called. So that's a unit of 8 Shining Spears in the Ynnari detachment. At the front we've got some Dark Reapers. Obviously this is where it starts to cheese out a bit. Dark Reapers at the minute are very powerful. I'm expecting them to be nerfed hard by the Games Workshop nerf hammer. So I have got a unit of 8 with an Exarch, so 9 in total, and they are all just armed with Reaper launchers. I wasn't going to give him the Exarch Tempest launcher. I've saved them for the final detachment, which we'll move on to next. So the final detachment is a spearhead detachment, and we've actually gone for 2 warlocks for their HQ choices, and both of them just stock standard, nothing fancy about them, just bare bones. And then for the heavy support, we've got 3 units of 3 Dark Reapers. Each unit has got an Exarch, and the Exarchs are all armed with Tempest launchers. So that is it for the army, and I'll quickly cover the general plan or battle plan next. Okay, the general battle plan for the Craftworld and Ynnari cheese host. Basically, we've got 3 dedicated transports. The dedicated transports are going to be full to burst. I do plan on putting the Guardians in the, I think it's the webway portal, or in the sky, or whichever way. They will be deep striking in, so I'll be losing a command point straight away. I'm also very tempted to put the Shining Spears as well in reserve, so that will be a total of 3 command points lost straight off the bat. But with the army having 2 battalion detachments and a spearhead and its battle forged, we'll have a grand total of 10 command points. So being able to spend those 3 command points straight off the bat is not really such a big deal really. But like I say, the transport, so I do plan on having 2 units of 5 Dire Avengers in one transport, and more than likely the Autarch and a Farseer in the same one, because I have a transport capacity of 12. I then plan on having the 3 units of 3 Dark Reapers in a transport with the 2 Warlocks, so that's they'll all be in that one transport as well, so that will be 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 models in one transport. And the final transport will also have the other unit of Dark Reapers, so that'll be 9 models plus the Warlock and the Cat Lady Evrain, so that'll be 9, 10, 11 models in that transport as well. The reason why I'm putting everything in transports is basically to minimise drops. So I worked out that with the 3 transports, that will be basically 3 drops. I'll have the Guardians, or the Guardian Bomb as people call it, that will be 4 drops. And then the Shining Spears, whether I put them on the table or put them in the webway, that'll be 5. And then I've got the 3 units of 5 bog standard Carbolite Warriors for 8 drops in total. So I'm trying to minimise drops to obviously get first turn. It's always nice to have first turn. If I don't get first turn, the only things that will be on the table will obviously be the dedicated transports, and Wave Serpents are a very, very tough, hardy dedicated transport. They're probably the best dedicated transport in the game at the minute. Obviously with the Serpent Shield, with the Spirit Stones, toughness 7, they have 12 wounds, something like that, 12 to 13. I think it's 13, which is a really awkward number. Obviously negating damage done them by 1. They are very, very durable transports, so even if I don't get first turn, majority of things should be able to survive okay. If I get first turn, obviously everything can just move out the transports and spread out, and because it's a Dark Reaper, it's just always 3s to hit, because they're just massive cheese monsters. Aiden's nodding his head by the side of me, I can see it out of my peripheral vision here. Horrible. The Carbolite Warriors, they are literally there for screening purposes, so they will probably be deployed right at the front of the battle line to stop deep strikers coming in, just to be a pain in the backside really. 5 models at 35 points, I'm not bothered if they die. Even if I give away first blood, I should be able to live with that fine. So that's the general battle plan. Obviously, having Ynnari in the list, I do intend on casting Soul Burst on the unit of 9 Dark Reapers so they can shoot twice. If for whatever reason I don't get to cast that, or I don't get to use it for whatever reason, the jet bikes are there. If they kill a unit, obviously they can Soul Burst straight away. They've got very, very powerful shooting, obviously with the Star Lances and Sun Lance. They have Shuriken cannons as well. They're very tasty in combat, so even if they kill things from shooting, they can shoot again. If they kill something in combat, they can just charge again. So Shining Spears are a very, very good hardy unit as well. Obviously having a 4+ invulnerable save against all shooting is very, very nice. Toughness 4, I think it's got 4 up armor save I think as well. Psychic powers, still not 100% sure on the psychic powers I'll use. For the Farseer, I'll probably use Guide and Doom. For one of the Warlocks, I will use more than likely Conceal Reveal. For another Warlock, I will use probably Quicken and
the power is strong.
The one that can move, the one that they can move again.
That's Quicken.
That's Quicken. Quicken and Restrain, and the other one will be Protect and Jinx. So obviously I can proper buff up the Dark Reapers, or I can severely hamper an enemy that's coming towards me. So that's the general battle plan and gist of the cheese Craftworld Eldar Ynnari mix. What we're going to do next is we're going to go on to Aiden's army, which will be the Necrons. So stay tuned for that. Right, okay, so we're going to go into Aiden's Necron army. Aiden has currently got a bit of man flu, so I'll do my best to try to point out what's what. So he's got a standard battalion detachment. His troop choices, well, we'll start off with his HQ. So he's got Overlord.
Overlord, yeah.
Overlord, and he's armed with War Scythe, Resurrection Orb. He's got the relic that basically adds one to all the
Eternal Orb.
Eternal Orb, that's what it's called. So it adds one to all of his resurrections. His Warlord trait lets him ignore all morale tests. Is it the whole army or everyone within 6 inches?
Units just within 6 inches.
Units within 6 inches.
Immortal Pride, I think it's called.
Okay, so Immortal Pride. That is it for him. His friend stood next to him there is a Cryptek. Standard Cryptek, bog standard Cryptek. So we'll go on to the troops. We have got 2 units of 20 warriors.
Yes.
And 2 units of, well, 1 unit of 10 immortals.
1 unit of 9.
And 1 unit of 9 immortals. Aiden is suffering from the same thing my army is. Aiden is literally testing out his Necrons. Obviously the Necron Codex only came out last week. So he's testing out some of his models, and because some of mine aren't painted, we've allowed Aiden to test some of his models that aren't painted as well. It might upset some people, but we are literally, I am literally testing this army, and rather than just play the game and not bother filming it for you guys, I thought, well, sod it, I'll film it anyway. So that is it for the Immortals and the Warriors. Behind one of the unit of Immortals is 5 Destroyers, and they're all armed with Ghost Blasters. And then we've got 6 units of Wraiths. 6 units of Wraiths, I wish it.
That'd be nice.
I'm glad it isn't 6 units of Wraiths. It is a unit of 6 Wraiths, and they are armed with the Whip Coils. And then in the back, are they classed as dedicated transports?
2 dedicated transports.
2 dedicated transports that are called Ghost Arcs. Ghost Arcs. Now there is a Necron monolith in there. That is there just for aesthetic purposes, just because Necron monoliths are cool. Excuse me. So we won't be using the Necron monolith today. Like I say, we just put it there. Just it would look cool. So
it's painted.
It's painted. Yeah, yay! So basically, what we're going to say is before the game starts, the Necron monolith comes down, drops all the Necron warriors out of its portal of exiles, and the Necron monolith floats up back into orbit to wait the victory of the Overlord. Hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. The Warlord, well, we've covered the Warlord trait, and we need to cover the Dynasty. The Dynasty is, can't remember what it's called. It's the one that basically gives you -1 AP if you're within half range of your shooting weapons. So Necron Warriors obviously have rapid fire weapons, and they are AP 1 flat, so when they're within 12 inches it's going to be an extra -1 to that, which is very, very tasty. I imagine that's going to be one of the most popular ones for the army. There are a couple of other really good ones, so I think it just depends on what opponent you're playing. If you're like Aiden and you've painted them your own custom scheme, which is cool, because you can literally change the dynasty of your army each game. You're not specifically limited to, if they're painted one certain dynasty, you're not specifically limited to that dynasty all the time, which is really nice. So like I say, he's got a battalion detachment which is 3 points. It's Battle Forge, he's got another 3 points, so Aiden has a total of 6 command points. So we'll quickly come back after this and tell you what Aiden's battle plan is. Right, yeah, so Aiden's battle plan. Aiden, what is your battle plan?
I'm just going to run at you and shoot you.
Fair enough, he's just going to run at me and shoot me all day, I think. Yeah, people that have seen Necrons used recently will know how resilient they are, and I think Aiden's done everything exactly how I would have done it with the Res Orb. So is it Resurrections on 4s?
Resurrections on 4s as long as you've got the Cryptek nearby, because it's a 5+ reanimation protocol as standard.
Yep.
He gives +1 to the reanimation protocol.
Yep.
The Eternity Orb will then give you +1 as and when you use the Eternity Orb. So it's a one-trick pony.
Oh, it's a one-use only relic, is it? Okay.
Only, yeah. But it's kind of, if I've got a unit all the way down to, I don't know, probably 1 or 2 warriors,
okay,
obviously, and I pass my morale test automatically with his Warlord trait.
Yeah.
I'm going to want as much of them to get back up as possible, so I'm going to pop my orb and use take full advantage of a 3+ get back up.
That's a 3+ get back up. Okay, that's gone. That's just for 1 turn, is it? Yeah.
That's 1 turn.
There's very good synergy there with the Necrons. So yeah, looking forward to see how they perform in this edition. Obviously, I've not played the new Necrons.
I've not.
And Aiden hasn't used the new Necrons, so we're both using armies that we're not particularly knowledgeable on.
I'm very knowledgeable of your Eldar. I can tell you everything.
Yeah, Aiden's going to tell me everything about how to use my Eldar, and I'm just going to sit there and just nod my head and roll dice, which is always going to be fun. So that is it for the armies. What we'll do is we'll quickly set up some more terrain, because we've put the board out as a basic fashion, but we will set it up nicely, and we will come back at the start of deployment. Okay, so we've done setting up. Deployment, we rolled, well, we just chose Dawn of War, just to make it a lot easier. Dawn of War deployment. Mission, we have got Spoils of War. We will be using the command cards, for the simple fact that in the tournament they will be playing Maelstrom of War games. I've played Maelstrom of War a few times. I do enjoy it. Aiden, you've played it many times?
I've played it twice in tournaments, that's it.
Yeah, Aiden's played it a couple of times, so it's a bit of a learning curve for Aiden. But me and Aiden have been playing together for a while now, and we do want to start getting into doubles tournaments, so this will be good practice for both of us, really. So Aiden chose that side of the board. So obviously going across, we've got his Wraiths, Destroyers, Necron Immortals on the balcony, Necron Warriors on the floor, and then a unit of Immortals, and then some more Necron Warriors on the side. And then at the back, we've obviously got the Overlord?
The Overlord, the Cryptek.
Overlord and the Cryptek, and the 2 Ghost Arcs at the back. So they're sort of having like a little Necron sandwich there. On this side, we have got this Wave Serpent that has got Yvrain, Warlock, and 9 Dark Reapers in. We've got Carbolight Warriors at the front. We've got another Wave Serpent with Autarch, Farseer, and 2 units of Dire Avengers. The other Wave Serpent, that's got 3 units of 3 Dark Reapers and 2 Warlocks. Carbolight Warriors, and then Shining Spears at the end. I've deployed the Guardians in the Webway, I believe it is called. So that is it for deployment. I finished setting up first, obviously only having 8 drops. Aiden finished setting up second. So Aiden, we do want to roll dice, see who goes first?
You roll.
So I'll let Aiden roll first, and then I shall roll. I get +1 for obviously finishing first. Aiden's got a 6, so Aiden's got a good roll. Oh no! So I need to get at least a 5. Is that a 5? That's a 5!
That's a 5!
So I get +1 because obviously finishing deployment first, so we get to re-roll. So Aiden, do you want to roll again?
No.
No?
4.
And he gets a 4. It's a very good number. It's a very good solid roll as well. So I need to see if I can see what I roll here. I get a 2. So Aiden is going to go first, unless I seize the initiative. I will attempt to seize the initiative, obviously. So I will seize the initiative on a 6. Oh, he's got it! I've chosen literally the wrong dice to see how I might actually change the dice. I did play Luke a while ago, and he was like, please don't use those dice because they're really awkward to see. I now understand. I now understand exactly what he's going on about. So the Eldar sees the initiative. Oh no! Oh dear, if you can only see Aiden's
Tactical remarcation to the one
yeah, let's go. Well, good game. Good game. So we will come back at the end of movement turn 1 for the Eldar. Okay, so that is it for Craftworld Eldar Ynnari movement turn 1. The Carbolight Warriors have bravely moved forward to sacrifice themselves as a little screen for all the cheese shenanigans at the back. The Wave Serpents moved across. Dark Reapers have got out, as has a Cat Lady, Autarch, Farseer, Dire Avengers. Wave Serpents moved up. The other Dire Avengers advanced rapidly, disembarking from their vehicle, obviously 3 inches, movement 7, and then running a further 6 inches. So they were pretty rapid. The Drakari at the front there, the Carbonite Warriors, they moved up as well. They advanced. This Wave Serpent sort of shuffled across. So we've got another piece of scenery here that's covered in models. So we've got obviously 3 units of 3 Dark Reapers, unit Carbonite Warriors, and over here the Shining Spears have sort of shuffled forward as well. Stratagem wise, not stratagem, tactical objectives, we've got Secure Objective 4, there's a pigeon dancing on the roof. So we've got Secure Objective 4, which is over there, so we're never going to get that, not yet anyway, but obviously I can't get rid of it. We've got Strands of Fate, and we rolled a 3, so number 3 objective is over here, so I should be able to score that one. And no prisoners, so kill something. Hopefully I'll be able to kill something, so we'll move into the Psychic phase. Okay, so we've just quickly finished Psychic phase. The Warlocks basically cast, Protect and Conceal on the big unit of Dark Reapers. We tried to cast Guide on them, but we were unable to cast it. I needed a 7 and I rolled a 4 and then re-rolled 1 dice and got a 5. Yeah. Basically couldn't cast it. Obviously Yvrain cast the Soul Burst on them and they fired Soul Burst at the Wraiths and we managed to drop 2. So that's it for the Psychic phase. We'll come back when we get into the shooting phase. Okay, so we've done the shooting phase. We decided not to cover it because it would be pretty quick and possibly ruthless, which it was. I'm really sorry, Aidan. Pretty much the Dark Reapers and the Wave Serpent fired at the Wraiths. Also, this Wave Serpent fired at the Wraiths. Also, 2 units of Dark Reapers fired at the Wraiths, and the other unit of Dark Reapers fired at something else, apart from the Tempest Launcher, which fired at the Wraiths. Now, you're probably wondering why I've mentioned Wraiths so much, because it took that much to kill all the Wraiths. Having 3 wounds each with a 3+ invulnerable save, and obviously Aiden's only lying them down because you can give them reanimation protocols, so I had to definitely wipe out that unit. Do they get reanimation protocols straight off the bat? Or?
No, it's 1 command point, I believe it.
Okay.
And then they get to use it.
So it's literally a stratagem. Aiden's literally got the book today, so he's going to quickly flick through the book. While he's flicking through, I'll quickly discuss what else I did. The other Dark Reapers obviously fired at the Destroyers. I managed to knock 1 down. And did it take any wounds off another one?
You've took 2 wounds on another one.
2 wounds off another one and killed 1. But obviously Aiden's only put them to one side for reanimation protocols. Because I imagine they get it because it's Necrons.
Yes, they get it. Standard.
They just get it off the bat. Cool. And other than that, that is it really. The Autarch fired at the Cryptek because I can snipe out characters with his Reaper launcher. I scored 2 plum hits and wounded him twice, and Aiden failed his invulnerable save, so that would have been 4 damage. He did use one of his command points to save him, so he only took 2 wounds. He's got one or 2 wounds left?
2 left.
2 left. So we'll see what we can get up to next phase.
Repair subroutines.
Repair subroutines is 1 command point.
2 command points.
2 command points, and it gives a unit reanimation protocols?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we definitely had to get rid of them Wraiths to make sure that they couldn't get that. And other than that, that's it for my turn. So, Aiden, any quick remarks on the end of first turn? Swiss
blue vein cheese.
Swiss blue vein cheese. Well, the only blue vein Aiden's going to be getting tonight is something that I've made personally for him. So we'll get into Aiden's movement turn 1, and we'll come back at the end of that. Okay, so that's the end of Necron's movement turn 1. The Destroyers obviously have reanimated the Destroyer that was downed, and he reanimated, and when he reanimates he's on full wounds, so that's harsh. That's really good for the Necrons. Aiden's just been telling me some stratagems that the Destroyers can have, and I assume people have seen it on YouTube and things already, but Destroyers are back in a big way, I think, definitely. Immortals have shuffled up. Have they moved around?
They've just slightly done, so they've got full line of sight, the Warriors.
Okay, so yeah, so the Immortals have shuffled round. Everything else has done the Necron shuffle and moved forward. Over here, the Ghost Ark has moved around on top of this cathedral.
One thing I need to do with that.
Oh, one thing he needs to do with it. I'm going to turn it.
So, he's not in 6 inches of the board.
Okay, yeah. So, while we're covering that, actually, what cards have you got, Aidan?
Area Denials.
So, Area Denials with... if there's no enemy units within 6 inches of the centre of the board, he scores a point. If there's no enemy units within 12 inches of the board, he scores the 3 points. These are not within 6 inches, but they are within 12 inches, so these are going to come under heavy fire. What else we got?
Secure objective 2, which is there, which I'll get.
Which is there, which you will get. And what was the other one? Defend objective 4.
Which is all the way over there.
Which is all the way over there, somewhere in that building.
Nothing that will get across there.
So, but because it's defend objective 4, Aidan will be able to get rid of it because we are playing. What are we playing? Spoils of War. So he won't be able to discard secure objective cards. But he can discard defend objective cards. So that is the end of Aidan's movement phase. Psychic phase, Aidan.
Yeah, why not? I'd love some.
Yeah.
Could do with lots right now.
Yeah, okay. Right, so that's it for Aidan's psychic phase. We'll come back in Aidan's shooting phase. Okay, so we have done Necron's shooting turn 1. Not as eventful as Aidan had hoped. He did whiff a little bit, but with me stacking up buffs on units, it made it a little bit more difficult for Aidan. So the destroyers used a command point to reroll hits and wounds.
Yes.
And they spent another command point to ignore cover. One of them fired at the lone Carbolight warrior that was there, that was left from firing from them. Just obliterated that poor lone Carbolight warrior. And from here, I used a command point for lightning fast reflexes for -1 to hit, and I had cast what was it? Conceal and protect on them. So they were obviously had a pretty much like a 0 cover, but obviously Aidan ignored the cover, so he was hitting on 5s, reroll hits, reroll wounds, and I had a 5+ armor save. I managed to save 2 out of 5 wounds.
3. You saved 2.
I saved 2 out of 5 wounds, yeah, so 3 had died. And then over here, remarkably, Aidan fired only the warriors that could see, which was still, was it 11?
Yes.
A hefty amount, and then the Ghost Ark also fired at the Dire Avengers. And unfortunately, Aidan's rolling was pretty poor, if I'm honest.
Lots of 1 and 2s.
He managed to kill 4 Dark Reapers and put him onto 1 wound. And we will do morale for him and shortly. So yeah, Aidan rolled really, really poorly on his wound rolls there. So really, that is it. Aidan did score Area Denial because there's nothing within 6 inches of the centre of the board. He scored First Strike, which we are playing. We are playing First Strike. So those of you that don't know, you gain 1 victory point if you kill 1 enemy unit in your first turn. So I killed the Wraiths. I scored 1 victory point for First Strike. Aidan killed the 5 Carbolight Warriors for First Strike for an extra victory point for him. And other than that, that is it really for the end of Necron's turn 1. So at the end of my phase, obviously I don't have any objectives to score. I do have morale here for the lone Dire Avenger. 1, he's fine.
Strong.
And other than that, that is it. So we will draw some cards. Well, I already have Secure Objective 4. Let's get this into focus, shall we? So I already have Secure Objective 4, which is all the way over there. I will then take the 2 top cards. 1, 2. So I have Secure Objective 3, which is that one there. Then I have the Hidden Path. So this is roll a d6 when this tactical objective is gained. Score 1 victory point if there are no enemy units within 12 inches of the corresponding objective marker. So I will roll a dice. A 4, which is all the way over there. So is there any enemy models within 12 inches of it, Aidan?
Nope.
Nope. So that'll be a nice one to get. So it should be quite a straightforward one. I do have to try and get rid of that objective 4. So we'll come back at the end of Eldar Craftworlds and Ynnari turn 2. Okay, that's the end of Eldar and Ynnari movement turn 2. The Guardian Bomb has deep struck here, and for much deliberation, making sure everything's within 9 inches away. of the destroyers and the immortals on top there. Everything here is pretty much shut still. I've not really had any objectives that I need to move about with. The only objective that I've got that I need to move is this one over here, which the Shiner Spears have zipped over to get. Other than that, that is it for movement phase. So we'll come back in Psychic phase turn 2 for Craftworld and Ynnari. Okay, so that is the end of Eldar shooting phase and Psychic phase. The reason why I didn't cover it is because it was just very, very simple, very straightforward. So the Dark Reapers here and over here fired at the destroyers and finally got rid of them. I rolled pretty poorly and Aidan rolled some good saves. The Wave Serpents all fired into the warriors. We managed to drop a few, but obviously Aidan's going to get a load back. The Guardian squad fired into the destroyers as well, killed some. And other than that, that is it. But I did score some good points there, so I scored in the Hidden Path, Secure Objective 4 and Secure Objective 3. So that's it for Eldar turn 2. Aidan, do you want to draw some cards?
Yes. So we get behind enemy lines.
Okay.
Scour the skies.
Okay.
There's no flyers.
Wave Serpents have the fly keyword.
Does that count?
It's a fly keyword, yes, I believe.
Master the warp. Which I can't.
You can't physically do, so discard that one and draw another one.
Defend Objective 3.
Which is this one over here. So we will come back at the end of movement phase turn 2 for the Necrons. I'm sure some Necrons are going to start standing back up. Okay, that's the end of Necron movement turn 2. The Necrons have started to filter into the Imperial Bastion, or the old Imperial Chapel, sorry, not Imperial Bastion. So they're going to move into here and I assume going to let off a hail of fire into these rapid firing Carbonite Warriors. The Ghost Arcs moved up to here. Everything's literally shuffled round here, moving out of line of sight, and then round the top here on the this will probably be classed as the Bastion. The Immortals have shuffled round for rapid fire and shenanigans into the Guardian squad. So that's the end of movement phase turn 2 for the Necrons. We'll come back in the shooting phase. Okay, that's the end of Necron shooting turn 2. It's quite a good phase. Aidan would probably disagree, but I think it was quite effective. Over there, the Immortals fired into the Guardians. Some random warriors fired, and the Ghost Arc fired as well.
Yeah, I split that unit's fire. I had a couple that was in range of them, so they shot. The rest shot at them.
Yep. So we managed to kill 2 Dire Avengers from this squad, and managed to kill 6 Guardians from that squad over there. In the morale phase, I used
2 command points.
2 command points to basically make them automatically pass. And then that was pretty much it. And then over here, Aidan literally opened up on a unit of 3 Dark Reapers that were here, wiped them out, and then used another the Ghost Arc rapid firing the other unit of 3 Dark Reapers down here and wiped them out. I did spend a command point for lightning reflexes, so that was another command point gone. Obviously I spent a command point to give them 4+ invulnerable save, which did help out. So I'm down to 3 command points now in total. And Aidan, how many command points are you down to?
2.
2. So that's it for Necron turn 2. We will come back at the end of movement phase for Craftworld turn 3. In fact, let's draw some cards. 1, 2, 3. So we have Defend Objective 2, which is...
You get to discard that.
Oh, yeah, Aidan's discarding one. So Defend Objective 2. 2 must be near you somewhere.
Nope.
Oh, here.
Yep.
Defend Objective 2 is there. Is right there. Priority orders received. I will do that one in a moment. That one's very, very awkward. Basically I have to draw another objective mark. I'll do that in a minute. Defend Objective 4, which is over there. Now, I did want to move them away from there, but we'll see what happens. So priority orders received basically means I draw another objective card. Yeah, so obviously priority orders received means the Warlord is the only one that can score that objective, and it is behind enemy lines. My Warlord is here, and he has to get over there. So might be discarding that one maybe. So we'll come back at the end of movement phase for Craftworld and Ynnari turn 3. Okay, so that is the end of Eldar turn 3. Rather than cut in and do each phase we're chomping through quite quickly now. So in the psychic phase we managed to cast Guide, Conceal and Protect on this unit of Dark Reapers. I would cast it on something else, but at the minute these guys are probably the best unit to cast it on at the minute. Anything else for the psychic phase? Cast Doom on the Ghost Arc that was there as well. In the shooting phase, or in the psychic phase, sorry, these shots in the psychic phase managed to cause 2 lots of wounds, obviously 6 damage. Aiden used the quantum shielding, which is horrendous. If you're rolling under the damage, just completely ignores it. So he managed to ignore it for that. In the shooting phase, he shot at it again and did finally manage to take it out. Then we literally opened up and peppered the warrior squad there with as much as we could. I think there's about, what, 6 or 7 left standing?
Yeah, there's not many.
So Aiden could possibly get them all up again, just like last time. This Wave Serpent did pop its shield for mortal wounds on the Ghost Arc to make sure I definitely killed it. And the Guardians over there, they opened up at the Immortals and dropped 5? 6? 7, dropped 7. So there's 2 left standing over there. And that is it for the end of Eldar turn 3. Obviously, defend objective 4, which is over there, which the Shining Spears are still sitting on. They've not really done a great deal this game, but score points. So they're still quite active over there for now. Defend objective 2 I haven't got because it's here. And I am most certainly, Aiden, going to discard priority orders received, because there's no way I'm moving the Warlord that far at this point of the game. So that is the end of my turn. I didn't score any points that turn, so we'll come back at the end of Necron's turn 3. Okay, very quickly, that is the end of Necron turn 3. We're trying to power through these turns, so me and Aiden can go and have some food. Probably have one more turn and then definitely going to get something to eat. So the Immortals and Ghost Arc fired into the Shining Spears. I used lightning reflexes for -1 to hit. 2 of their number have been killed. These warriors fired into the Dark Reapers. There is the X-Arc left, if I can focus, there he is. Aiden used Solar Pulse.
Solar Pulse, yes.
Solar Pulse for -1, well, basically they don't get a cover save. And then obviously Aiden was firing at them with -1 AP, so I needed 4s. He caused 6 wounds. I managed to save 2 of them, no, 4 of them in total, because 2 of the normal Dark Reapers got wiped out. Then over here, the Immortals literally hiding in the Imperial bunker, shifted in towards the bunker and fired into the Guardians. They caused 2 wounds, 3 wounds? 3 wounds. And other than that, that is it. The Guardian blob is literally shifting round the building to stay away from the soul-bursting unit of Dark Reapers here. So that is it for the end of Necron's turn 3. We'll come back at the end of Eldar turn 4. Okay, so that is it to the end of Eldar and Ynnari round 4. The Shining Spears shoot it across. I use the stratagem for them so they can advance and still charge with plus reroll 1s to hit. So they got into combat. They dropped some of the Immortals, but not enough. I did fire at the Ghost Arc. I probably should have fired everything at the Immortals. Lesson learnt. I shall learn that one for next time. Over here, the Guardian Squad fired into these Immortals. They also charged the Dark Reaper X-Arc with a Tempest launcher, fired at them as well. Obviously because it doesn't need line of sight. There is how many standing in there?
2.
2 standing at the moment.
3.
3 standing at the moment. But more than likely more will stand. Obviously got some down Necron warriors over there, but they'll get back up. Yeah, so that is it really. I did pull domination, not domination, supremacy, sorry, and I rolled the big 6 for that, so I scored an additional 3 victory points for that one. And I discarded domination because I'm not going to be able to catch every single objective marker on the board. So that is it for the end of my turn 4. I've learnt a lot this game so far. Look, Aiden's been a gracious opponent, letting me into his mind. Obviously he plays Eldar a lot more than me, so he's been showing me things that I wouldn't know what to do for the Eldar. So we'll come back at the end of Necron's turn 4. Okay, that is the end of battle round 4 for the Necrons. This unit of Necron Immortals got 3 up, or 2 up? 2 stood up at the start of turn.
3 up, yeah.
3 stood up. They stayed in combat. They had a little punching fight with the Guardians there. The Necron Mortals managed to drag 1 down, and I managed to drop 2. So they're not doing too bad. It's the final losing battle, because the Necrons will just keep getting up and up and up. Over here, what can I say? All the Necron Warriors basically got up. All the Necron Immortals basically got up. The Ghost Ark just being able to heal everything, pick everything up. The Res Orb, it's a very, very, very hard castle to knock down basically. The Shining Spears got wiped out by combined firepower from the Ghost Ark. This unit of warriors rapid firing, and half of this squad rapid firing at them. Aiden used what's it called? What's the ability that the Overlord gives that unit? Basically,
it will be done, and it gives you +1 to your hits and charges and something else.
So yeah, so basically give them +1 to hit, so they're rapid firing. So there's 20 of them there. That's 40 shots hitting on 2s. Ouch, that's just a lot. The Carbonite Warriors, sorry, at the front there, just got completely annihilated by the Necron Warriors. And I will be done. Yeah, just exactly the same as Aiden said. You choose a unit, choose an infantry unit, adds 1 to advanced charge rolls till the beginning of the next turn. Wow, holy rough. Oof. So that's the end of battle round 4. Me and Aiden have had a very quick tally up of points, and Aiden is sitting plumb on how many points?
3.
Aiden is sitting plumb on 4 points because of first strike.
That's including that.
Right. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. So 3 points for first strike. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the little skeleton there's first strike. So 13 actually.
Next turn I'd have scored 2 more and that'd have been it. Oh.
Yeah, next, like Aiden says, next turn you probably might have been able to get a couple more objectives maybe. Obviously I'll be drawing. I mean, drawing now. I'm drawing literally a flat 3 straight off the top. I've got hold the line. Well, I would have had hold the line. Score 1 victory point if you have at least 3 units completely within your deployment zone.
Yep.
So I would have got that one straight off the bat. Mission critical objective. Roll dice. 4. Score 1 victory point basically if I control that objective. 4's over there, so I probably wouldn't have got that one. Master of Runes. Score 1 victory point if you successfully manifest a psychic power in the battle round. If you successfully manifest 3 psychic powers, you score D3 points. Well, all I would have done was I would have cast Conceal on 1 unit, or Protect. Conceal on 1 unit, Protect on another, Quicken on another, and then I've used the Farseer to cast Guide on something, and I've used a couple of Smites, so that could have been very, very nasty if we kept going. So, it's going to be a Craftworld Eldar Ynnari victory. Cheese, much? Swiss?
Pure, not blue vein.
Pure, not blue vein. Like I said at the start of the video, Aiden's going to get plenty of blue vein tonight if he's not careful. So we'll come back at the Tactica at the end of the battle report. Okay, obviously at the end of the video now we're going to add the tactical review of what me and Aiden think we did well, what do you think we did wrong. For the Ynnari, I think they're sort of an idiot army, because you can just backline and shoot. You've got the manoeuvrability of the Shining Spears to run around and grab objectives. My Dark Reapers, Unit 9 Dark Reapers were soul bursting in the psychic phase, so they've basically been able to shoot twice. I was quite lucky on my cards. If I could have changed it, I probably wouldn't have shot these Shining Spears into the Ghost Ark. I would have just concentrated everything into the Immortals. I think I did majority of things quite well. Aidan obviously helped out quite a bit. The Guardians at the back here, would I have deep struck them here if I had another choice?
It was a waste.
It was a bit of a waste, yeah. I mean, they've been okay because they've basically tied up this unit of Immortals, but if I didn't deep strike them here, I could have deep struck them over there. And if I deep struck them over there, this unit of Immortals would have had to have dealt with what's in front of it, or just hide and not do anything all game. My Dark Reapers over here in that building, I probably should have been moving them about rather than just sitting them there doing nothing. Well, they weren't doing nothing, they were shooting. But because they can move and shoot with no bonuses to hit, because they always hit on 3s, maybe I should have been moving them about a bit more.
You sat back way too much. All your army can move and shoot, so
yeah,
you shouldn't have sat back.
Exactly. I've got a lot more manoeuvrability than I thought I would have had. My Psychic powers, I'm quite happy with them. I'd probably take them again. Maybe swap out Guide for Fortune, because if I have my Autarch near the Dark Reapers, they reroll 1s. So I could probably get rid of Guide, because obviously Guides reroll all hits, and Fortune, obviously I can cast Fortune on something to give them basically a 5+ feel no pain. My views on the Necrons, my god, they're durable. If you're going to shoot at Necrons, make sure you wipe out the unit. Aidan was literally rolling like a boss on his reanimation rolls. He wasn't rolling too great on wounds and hits and things, but his I mean, we're at the end of Battle Round 4, obviously we've called the game, but Aidan has still got 2 full units of Necron Warriors, a full unit of Necron Immortals, a Ghost Arc, and
Lord and Cryptic.
Lord and Cryptic, yeah, and basically they're going to get back up anyway.
I lost 2 units and 1 vehicle, so I'm happy with that, especially with the army that you put on.
Yeah, exactly. I think the downside to Necrons is the manoeuvrability. I think you're going to have to take specific units, fast units, to be grabbing objectives, because Necrons play better when you castle up, which Aidan's done, which he's done perfectly. Like I say, we're at the end of the game and he's got so much stuff left over.
If I didn't have the synergy of the Necron Lord, the Cryptek and the Ghost Arc all together, them units would have got mushed a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's been a combined effort of the using re-rolls up to get them up twice. And that Eternity Orb as well, when you nearly killed 2 whole units and it was like looking a bit bleak, and then...
Yeah, exactly. So the Eternity Orb adds 1 to the reanimation rolls, and you use a stratagem that you re-roll 1s on the reanimation roll. So basically he's only failing reanimations on 2s. I mean, I very nearly dropped an entire unit. There was what, 4 left, 5 left?
Not many.
4 or 5 left, something like that.
I think there was 17 down to 3 left, and I got every single one back up.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. Every single one back up, and it was just graphic.
If I'm using it wrong, someone please let me know, because it's my first game with them in the 8th edition. But as we've read, that is how it's writ. So.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we've tried to play rules as written. We have used the what's it called? Chapter approved rules. We haven't used any leaked FAQ'd rules, so we didn't bother about the character targeting or the smite. Not that I cast any smite.
Not once.
So we didn't bother using any of them. Until the FAQ actually drops, I won't use them. I know they are beta rules, which means basically that will be what they change it to. What? Gundams now. That will be what they change it to, but until it actually drops, we will refuse to use it in the House of Geek. So yeah, so that's it for the end of the game. Aidan, unit of the game for you? Or unit of the Necrons for you?
Probably the Cryptek. No, the Lord, purely for the fact that of that thing it can use every turn where it gives it +1. Having Necron Warriors hitting on 2s is immense. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. I'd probably give a shout out to the Ghost Arc as well. Quantum shielding, amazing.
Oh yeah, well,
being able to get every unit within range up. I mean, I was under only infantry, but I was under the impression you choose 1 unit and you can only get that, basically use that bonus for 1 unit. But it's all units within its range. It's just
3-inch range, but because it's so big, you get it close enough. Like I did, you keep it behind, so it's actually answering 3 units with the Lord and the Cryptek between all 3. So it acts like a little square in between, like a little box. It works
Yeah,
great.
exactly. It's definitely have an honourable mention for me, the Ghost Ark. For the Eldar Ynnari, it's going to be really sad, but maybe the Dark Reapers.
You got no choice. They were horrible.
Yeah, Dark Reapers are just vicious. You know,
Soul burst.
that's what I'm going to a tournament. I've got to take what the current meta is. Dark Reapers are massively overpowered. I would take Dark Reapers. Do I think they need changing? Yeah, I will 100% agree they need changing. How I would change them? Possibly give them a slight points increase and have their minimum squads of 5. The min squads of 3 thing was just so annoying for you.
Just horrible.
Yeah, probably increase the min squad size to 5.
They get minuses to their shooting, probably.
Maybe. How they're going to change it, I don't know.
So if you start embark, disembark, or you get -1.
Yeah, another honourable mention for me would be the Wave Serpents. Steady firepower throughout the game, resilient, just a pain in the backside.
I've used Wave Serpents 3 different tournaments and they've never lost one yet. They are so hard to kill as well.
Yeah.
Issue.
Exactly. So that is it for the end of this battle report. We hope you enjoyed it. We know it was a bit cheesy, but as long as you're not lactose intolerant, you'll be fine. So stay tuned for some more battle reports coming. Me and Aidan hopefully start playing a lot more recently. We've both been given new jobs, so hopefully we can put a lot more content back on the channel. So that's it. So I'll speak to you guys next time. Toodaloo.